Now, we're going to show you gun stocks for a very good reason. We're going to show you Sturm, Ruger, Smith & Wesson. They are gun stocks. And Vista Outdoor, that is basically an ammunition company. Here's the news on guns. In Ohio, they passed a bill that would allow concealed carry on college campuses, daycare centers, and on some private planes. The bill's on its way to Governor Kasich's desk. He is expected to sign it. Come on in, please. Dana Loesch, author of Hands Off My Gun and the host of The Dana Show. Dana Loesch, welcome to Varney & Company. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
That's a very aggressive stance you've got there. I mean, you got a little concealed carry-off on the side there or something? What you got?
You know, I mean, it's Texas. Who knows? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. That's the beauty of concealed carry.
I'm guessing. What do you make of this bill in Ohio? Kasich's going to sign it. That you could carry a gun into a daycare center? I mean, a lot of people are thinking, whoa, hold on a second. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, let's look at it this way. When we have these incidents where we have mass shootings and we have like what we saw at OSU, these people who are carrying out these atrocities, a Somali refugee who carried out this attack, these people, they're complete and total cowards because they're preying on people who are defenseless. And statistics have shown that time and time again, every single time the cavalry shows up, every single time that you have a good guy with a gun, that's when that incident ends. That's when that person's taken out either by the good guy with a gun, either by law enforcement, or either they actually commit suicide. In one case, the Clackamas Mall shooting, that's what happened with that individual. But so every single time that we have seen these incidents, these are cowards who pick on defenseless victims, and that's why they choose gun-free zones.
Dana,
and when I think about this, when
I get worried though. I mean, look, there are going to be accidents.
No, there's no statistics that support that. No, there's no. First of all, let's look at Utah. Utah has had campus carry for maybe a decade, almost 12 years now, with no incident. In fact, their security and their police departments were saying we don't have any problems at all whatsoever with this law or with anything that has been enabled by this law. You have basically about 1/5 of the states now that have enacted campus carry with zero incident. These attacks and murders and crimes, they're not coming from law-abiding gun owners. These are not coming from concealed carry permit holders. These are actually coming from people who would be prohibited possessors or people who should be on a terrorist watch list, and they should have charges brought against them so as to render them prohibited possessors. That's what we have seen in each and every one of these incidents.
I got you, Dana, and frankly, I never thought I'd see the day when a state like Ohio would pass this kind of legislation. It's a real surprise to me. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but I am really very surprised. I want to move on
to... they don't want any more victims. And, you know, honestly, they don't want any more victims. Parents are tired of seeing their children under attack. And you know what? Grown men and women who are on college campuses, they do not want to be disarmed and victimized. Look, last note on this particular issue. We don't just have the common criminal anymore. We also have to think about domestic terror attacks. This is a new world that we are all struggling to adjust and live in, but this is the reality of our situation. The sooner that we realize that and acknowledge it, the safer we're going to be.
You used to be a liberal. I know you did, way back when, but you were now.
I was never against gun rights, though.
Okay.
I was one of those Southern Democrats. You know, all my family are from Southern Missouri, so it was the Union vote, but they love their gun rights.
And your bloc in the Democrat Party no longer exists. I mean, the party's left you completely. And I know that you've moved on. And wait a minute, you've got a new book, Flyover Nation. It's not new, okay, but I like the book anyway. Flyover Nation.
Thank you.
You can't run a country you've never been to. You're explaining in that book why the Democrats lost. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And you hit up on something incredibly important. The party left a lot of those individuals, those blue-collar workers. Think about this. Back in the 90s, who was it? What demographic was it that propelled Bill Clinton to victory in the 90s? It was those blue-collar workers, people who identified as Democrats, people like my family members. They were strong union voters, but they loved their Second Amendment rights. Well, now we're sort of in an economic crisis, for the lack of a better way to put it. We have those individual people who are worried about how they're going to put food on their table. They're worried about whether or not they're going to be able to keep a roof over their head. And what are they hearing from Democrats? Democrats are telling them what pronoun they can or can't use. Or they're telling them how their baker has to bake a cake. Or they're sitting here telling them that, well, no, you got to call Bruce Caitlin now, and if you don't, then you're a horrible person. That does not put food on these people's tables. They don't care about that. They want to know where the jobs are. They want to know if they're going to be able to be self-sustaining. These are the issues that these people value. And you know what? I'll tell you this. They also value their gun rights, too.
You know, I'm a grapefruit and carrot juice kind of guy, and I know you're into the beat scene, but, you know, it was great. You were great just sitting there and listening to me all this time. Come back again, please, Dana Loesch, will you?
Would love to. Thank you. Would love to.
Thanks a lot.